This is Anthony, your Project Nova Zero, and I would like to do a review of my PlayStation 4. Now, I've owned the PlayStation 4 for almost a month now. I've had it since launch, which was November 15th, 2013 in the United States. And I have to say I'm very happy with the system. My particular unit, had no problems. It did not have the noisy Blu-ray player, which a lot of people reported, or the blue light of death, apparently. So yeah, I'm happy my system came out better, or came out how it's supposed to. And it's been serving me well for the past month. I've been playing Battlefield 4 and Killzone Shadowfall with it, and it's been nothing but perfect. Playing at 60 frames per second at 1080p. Except Battlefield 4, it's 900p upscaled to 1080, but really, it still looks like a really good game. And right next to it, I have my old PlayStation 3, which actually I've been playing Borderlands 2 on, and that's been pretty fun. So anyway, let's get into the system. The PS4, I believe, has an AMD Jaguar APU, which has 8 cores clocked at 1.8 gigahertz, and it's mixed with a AMD integrated graphics, which I believe is equivalent to the AMD Radeon 7750, which is actually a pretty decent graphics card. And ultimately, there should be enough power to keep this powered up for around another 6 years. I know it will not last as long as the PlayStation 3, because PS3 had a cell processor. This has an x86 processor, which means it's easy to develop games for, but that means they can't really utilize an entire system. They basically already utilize the entire system already, which is kind of sad about this generation, because it's just basically a mid-range gaming PC, just put into a shell that says PlayStation. And I find that really sad. I'm kind of sad that there's no more really dedicated video gaming consoles. Well, there is the Wii U, but the Wii U would have been good around 6 years ago. Technology-wise, with 1080p and everything. Now, let's get into the menu of the PlayStation 4. So, I'm going to turn off my light so you don't see my ugly face. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm using the Sony branded 3D display. So yeah, it's a really good display for $350 on Amazon. So anyway, you press the PS button the PlayStation button to use the controller. So hit PlayStation. The controller will light up. Great. Looks like I got a laser pointer. The PlayStation controller will light up. In fact, sorry, must turn back on the light again to show you the controller. The controller itself has been really good. It's actually one of the most it feels like one of the greatest controllers I've ever used. It's very comfy. It's very comfortable, and it's easy to grip and use the triggers. The triggers are around 100 times better than the old really bad DualShock 3 triggers, which were basically really bad cushions. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just go back. Now let's log into the menu. And this is the start menu. So as you can see, it looks sort of like Windows 8, sort of. Like, if you put Windows 8 on a straight line, that's how it would look. And if you hit the up button on the D-pad, you get this sort of PlayStation 3 XMB style, menu, which is actually really easy to navigate. And I actually really like this OS. I think it's a lot better than the PS3's cross-media bar. I believe this is called the PlayStation Dynamic Menu. So it's PDM for short, instead of XMB. And I'll show you the voice commands. So all you do is say a command to your PlayStation, like PlayStation, Marvel, Lego Marvel, contrast, Resogun, Sound Shapes, Killzone Shadowfall, Battlefield 4. As you get the idea, it's you can basically say the game you want to put and then say start, and it'll play the game automatically. Now, on a graphics level, yeah, basically as a standard, it runs games at 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is a bold statement, because that's what they said about the PlayStation 3. It was supposed to run games at 1080p 60 frames per second, when only about 10% of the games ran at 1080p. Oops, out of focus. Only 10% of the games ran at 1080p, and only about 5% of those ran at 60 frames per second. In fact, the only game I remember really having 1080p 60 frames, besides Gran Turismo, is Call of Duty, which is upscale from 600p. But all games are upscaled on the PlayStation 3 to HD. It's a set standard. So, anyway, there are many other functions with the PlayStation 4, including PlayStation Vita Remote Play. So, if we go into the PlayStation Vita, if I can zoom in, just have to slide that off. Go to this PS4 link, start, and soon enough you'll hit the Remote Play or second screen function. Now, a second screen basically is sort of like just basically having a second screen for things like doing extra commands and stuff. It's not really that fun to use. But let's use the Remote Play, because that's... Oh. I forgot I've had my Vita reset, so it doesn't remember the PS4. That's sad. One moment. PS Vita. You have to add device. Okay. So let me put the code in. As you can see, 7992 3450. There we go. It's registering. Checking the environment. And you can start up Remote Play on any part on the PlayStation 3 you want, except Netflix or any other video streaming service. And there we go. As you see, we're running the entire menu on the PlayStation Vita. Now let's start up. Some games actually aren't tethered to the touchscreen, like the actual triggers. Like Battlefield 4, instead of pressing R2, L2 to fire, you can press R1 or L1. But games like Blacklight Retribution, they don't work like that anymore, sadly. Yeah, well, they're not put to work like that. You still use the touchpad to shoot. So let's start up Battlefield 4. And as you can see, we'll just put it on both systems, or let me see, I don't know if this is good for you guys, but I hope it is. Hello. It's kind of awkward seeing myself. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, as you can see, there's not that actually much of a latency. In fact, I'm going to turn off the volume on the Vita, so it doesn't really press the options button, which is basically the start button. Yeah. Kind of having trouble which one I'm going to have in focus. It's kind of hard. But, one second. No. So, it'll load the game up on the Vita. As it is on the PlayStation 4. Just put, actually, yeah, this seems better. I'll just leave them right there so you can see. Oh, perfect. It didn't go into the actual start menu. I thought, because of campaign. For some reason there was a glitch in Battlefield 4 where it kept resetting your campaign, so I thought it was going to restart, but here it is. As you can see, you can move around. Use the back touchpad to sprint. You can aim. Oops. Shoot. But yeah, you can see, you can move around. You can use the Vita as a controller, which I wish I could show you. Oh wait. Don't know how well this will work, but let's see. And the PS Vita sort of has a latency issue. Oh, oops. But yeah, I'm sorry if you didn't see that. I really hope it showed. I'm trying to really hard start my own YouTube channel. I mean, I've had mine for years, but I'm trying to actually get a little bit more public. So if you really could, I'm really looking for some support. I know I suck right now, but I promise if I get more support, I will try to get better. And to my conclusion, for $400, this is definitely a... For $400, this is actually a really great gaming console. It is definitely a step up from the original PlayStation 3. And... this camera sucks. Anyway, it is definitely a step up from the PlayStation 3. And... yeah, I think it'll have a 6-year life expectancy. I don't know if they'll really come out with a slimmer version of it because it's already as big as the PS3 Slim. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you give a thumbs up and subscribe. And I guess I'll talk to you later.